I mean, really, he has got some of my favorite quotes in video games, like "No gods or kings, only man." What was that other one? I can't remember what that other one was that I love. Oh yeah, a man chooses, a slave obeys. A man chooses, a slave obeys. Now feed me my putter. You know?
That's what you did.
If you've played the game, you'll get it. But Bioshock 2, it sort of focuses on kind of the opposite end of the political spectrum. With Sophia Lamb, who's this hyper-communist, who's somehow also got a cult, which is strange because religion is described in the Communist Manifesto as being something that the bourgeoisie used to control the proletariat, proletarian, or whatever you want to say. But, you know, she's kind of a religious hyper-communist. And it doesn't quite work as well. I mean, the artistic design's still great, and there's this one area that I particularly like, where it's kind of like a museum dedicated to Andrew Ryan's theology. And it's quite funny, because there's, like, it'll just say something about scientists doing something well, and then the scientist rises up above it, says, and he will find some brilliant idea,
And the man pushes him down!
And it just says, and then the parasite says, no!
I love those things, because it has
Science!
a huge hand. If you went around and looked around, they would have this huge stock room full of those giant hands.
I know, it was always the same blue suit sleeve. And there was one about artists, where it said, the artist will create a masterpiece, and it will speak his message truly, but the parasite says no!
And it gets all red tinted, and like everything just looks evil when it happens. And there's this one where this nice little family sitting in the living room.
Yeah, and then it says,
they figured everything out, helping you your future. But
the parasite says,
the parasite says, and it shows the girl getting dragged away.
It was a little boy, and the hand just kind of reaches out of the bat, and it goes, no, he must be drafted into the army. He must serve the country, and it's just so ridiculous.
And I liked the description at the beginning of the audio diary, where it says, "What I wanted to build was a park for kids to have fun, but Andrew Ryan, he turned it into a museum, a church dedicated to himself."
Which he deserves. He's awesome. No. And, throughout this entire thing, you're fighting splicers, which, it's like, but the parasite says no! And there's like this guy...
We got more to worry about, buddy!
Actually, the kind of fear factor in Bioshock 2 is gone, really.
The first game, it's because you were a big daddy in the second game. In the first game, you're just some kind of average Joe that was very
The funny thing is, like, I actually said, I did my thoughts on Bioshock 2 quite a while back. Like, literally, the night I completed it, I sat down and started recording. And I said that, I know maybe it was just because I wasn't playing on normal on Bioshock 1, but I recently bought another copy of Bioshock 1 and started playing it on normal. And the game is actually still easier than Bioshock 2. Bioshock 2 does not mess around when it comes to difficulty.
And one thing I have to complain about Bioshock 2, I completed the game in one day. It took me one day to complete the game.
Yeah, there's another problem. It's a bit short, but still, difficulty.
Sinclair shall rest in peace.
You'll get that when you play the game. We're not going to spoil anything for you, but... And even though Bioshock 2 is much more difficult, and you have much more of a reason to be scared, because the splicers will fuck you up. In Bioshock 1, you can sort of just go boom, boom, they're dead. But in Bioshock 2, it's like boom, 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 oh my god!
I should be stronger, I'm a big fucking daddy!
Boom, 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 boom. How many fucking rivets can you take in your face?
I know, rivets, kind of powerful, and drills kind of more powerful because it's the damn drill.
They'll just take all those bullets and keep running at you. And yet Bioshock 1 is scarier. And I think it's primarily just because in Bioshock 2, it's just you just kind of get this kind of feeling of masculinity from being a big daddy. You don't care.
I'm
You're in
sorry,
a
but there's this one scene in the first Bioshock game that just got me every time. It was when you went into the dental offices, and
Oh
you're going
yes.
there. You finally got your fire plasmid, so you're able to go in this whole iced off area. And you go in there, you see this plasmid over this on this room that's kind of fogs up, then goes away.
It's a gene tonic.
It's a gene tonic. Yeah. And you go over there and you pick it up, you're like, oh, I'm so happy I got a new gene tonic. And the room fogs up, and I decided, oh, crap, I'm not going to turn around. I'm not going to turn around because I think something's going to be behind me. So as I turn around, hello! And I got, hello, dear! The first time I played it, I actually let out a little yelp and pulled out my shotgun as fast as I can. He didn't finish what he was saying because I blew him the fuck away.
Yeah, it was the same thing with me. Like, I'd never actually encountered this because the first time I played Bioshock I was much younger and it was just when it came out. Just wanted to kind of blitz through it. But now when I play it, I sort of search every nook and cranny. I try and find everything I can.
Audio diary.
The audio diaries are amazing. I love the audio diaries, and I'm always trying to find new ones. But I remember I actually did that, and you actually told me about it, and I was prepared for something like that to happen. But when it came up and it said, hello, Doc, I screamed, ah! And shot him in the face. No! The thing is, he's only a thuggish splicer. Well, all he had was a lead pipe. He was like the weakest splicer in the game, but I still shot myself.
Then there's another part that kind of got me was like when you're first introduced to the Houdini splicer.
Yeah, the Houdini splicers, and you walk up to his mask. And
see a shadow.
And it does very much the same thing. It goes, you just hear the teleport thing, and you see a shadow. It turns around, it goes, hello, darling. And then again, he teleports away. It's the same. I think it's even the same voice, but
it's the same guy.
It's the same. It is essentially the same dude. It's got the same voice, and he does the same thing. But you know, it really doesn't. It doesn't get you as badly, but it still gets you.
All right, moving on.
No, wait, I've got one more thing to say about Bioshock.
Okay.
Bioshock 2's actually got a lot more dark imagery than Bioshock 1. I mean, Christ, it was fucking hideous in Bioshock 1. I mean, Dr. Steinman, my God. But, sorry, that man.
This one! Too fast! This one! Too tall! This one! Too symmetrical! I tried to make that beautiful.
Who's that goddess? He's ugly! Ugly! Ugly!
Sorry for your rape. Okay.
So, I love that guy, but seriously, he fucking freaks me out. When you hear his backstory, it's fucking creepy. Especially this one thing, like just as he's starting
cutting, he just keeps cutting away at this one patient. And he's like, scalpel, please, scalpel. Stop cutting, stop cutting. Someone get security.
And that genuine moment, like, oh, that really freaked me out because I'd hate to be that woman, you know.
Wasn't that Diane? He messed up.
I think it's sort of implied, but they never quite say it is because he's messed up a lot of people. I mean, you've seen
because you find another audio diary where it says, I shouldn't have done that. I look really bad now. I think that was Diane.
You know, there's that one, and there was like those ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
That woman banging on the door saying, Steinman, you promised me I'd look pretty. And those ghosts are all Diane McClintock. The reason for that will become clear if you play the game, but I don't want to spoil it for anyone.
Yeah.
But when I say dark imagery, there's quite a bit of it in Bioshock 2 as well. There's this one section very close to the end where you're kind of going through this prison, and there's all these splicers kind of huddled up in corners crying, and they don't attack you. No matter what you do, these guys will not attack you. They're just kind of spazzing out in corners because they've been there so long. And there's this other splicer. He's a Houdini splicer, but he will never attack you. I think there's actually two of them. And they're these doctors that just kind of teleport around, almost like hysterical, almost in tears, screaming, I won't lose another patient, please wake up, to all these guys who are already dead. And it's really dark, and it's really like, ugh.
I think now it's time to move on.